The Genius Act is law. President Trump signs the stablecoin bill into law, and this is going to have a huge impact on the market. I'll break down what the industry is saying. And Charles Schwab is getting ready to launch crypto trading. This is going to usher in tons of capital. Let's get into it. Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, let's quickly look at the market here because I want to let you know what is taking place with Bitcoin and altcoins. Many people have been saying, hey, why isn't the market rallying on the news of President Trump signing the Genius Act? Well, folks, buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? We've seen this many times. And remember, markets move in cycles and in phases. So we had a big run up this week for Bitcoin, hitting new all-time highs. It hit the overbought zone. The daily RSI showed us that. We covered that earlier in the week, and it started its pullback and it's consolidating right now. But then the rotation of liquidity happened, and then ETH started pumping, and ETH is now in the overbought zone. So you're seeing a bit of a cool off. Same thing with XRP, which had a massive rally this week, breaking all-time highs. And it is in the overbought zone and it's cooling off. So you see how it's important to understand these different metrics and signals like RSI, MACD, and much more. It doesn't mean the bull market's over. It just means the market needs to cool down after a significant move. And if you look at this chart, I mean, massive green candles here, you can't have a continual straight line up, right? These are market principles you have to keep in mind. They apply to the stock market, precious metals, and much more. So this is a very healthy pullback, and we're going to see consolidation here. Even if you look at the total three, which excludes Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins, it is also in the overbought. So this is the majority of the altcoin market. So this is natural, this is healthy, and very good. And the corresponding metrics to that, the inverse of those assets being in the overbought zone, is the Bitcoin and USDT tether dominance is in the oversold zone. So you see the inverse correlation here. So you're going to see a reversal on both, right? A pullback on the crypto assets and a reversal of the tether and Bitcoin dominance. So both are in the oversold zone. And obviously this week, the Bitcoin dominance was in free fall, but it can be in free fall forever. So expect to see some sort of reversal here for Bitcoin dominance. Doesn't mean the bull market's over once again, right? But this thing runs in phases. So maybe over the next week or two, there's a bit of consolidation before we start moving again. So please understand how this all works. But everything is going according to plan here in what we've been tracking as far as the metrics, the on-chain data, the macro, and much more. And if you caught my newsletter today, please make sure you're subscribed to that. Global liquidity has been the leading indicator, and it has been on the rise. And right now, as I've been sharing with you guys, it is looking at a top near October, November. It's starting to dip on the charts here. It may find a bottom and start moving up again. I don't know. But as of today, this is what we're looking at as maybe a top, if not a local top. So again, we're going to have to watch this closely because the data needs to be updated. And global liquidity has been a leading indicator for risk assets. So you see crypto making new all-time highs. You see the stock market making new all-time highs, real estate, precious metals, and much more. So it's all following global liquidity. This is what's driving asset prices. And in my newsletter, I highlighted that the total crypto market cap, if you put a Fibonacci and Elliott wave, they both show the top is not in and we still have room to go. So the total crypto market cap, we expect it to go to the 4.236 extension on the Fibonacci model. For the Elliott wave, the fifth wave has not been completed yet, and that would take us once again into late Q3, early Q4. So this is where if you are planning to take profits, you want to have a plan, know what price points you're looking to take profits at. And of course, I'll be sharing with you guys where we're at, what are the new data points that we need to look at, and are we in the top zone? No one can call the exact top. We don't have a crystal ball, right? But we can say, hey, all the metrics are flashing that the top zone is here. if you're taking profits, you may want to exit the market, start taking a good amount of your profits off the table. So that's what I will be sharing with you guys in the newsletter, on the podcast, in the live streams. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. You got the notification bell and much more enabled, because this is not the time to walk away from the market. This is the time to pay attention, folks. And there's going to be a point where I'm going to turn bearish. Right now I'm bullish, but I'm going to turn bearish because the dumb money crowd's going to come in, the herd is going to come in, and market history and cycles have taught us those are signs of the top, and the smart money starts exiting. So we're going to look at on-chain data with Bitcoin whales. Are they exiting the market? Is Bitcoin supply starting to increase on exchanges? So coins are being moved to the exchanges to be sold. So all these things I'll be sharing with you guys. But this setup is beautiful here for the continuation, for life-changing money to be made here and significant profits. Obviously, it all depends on your entry price and where you got in, but these opportunities don't come around very often. And this asset class is so young. You're getting a lot of volatility, a lot of upside. It's, as billionaire Paul Tudor Jones said, this is the fastest horse in the asset race, right? Bitcoin and crypto. And as I've shared in the past, my strategy is to definitely take profits on the majority of my crypto assets. There's some Bitcoin I'm never selling into on a hardware wallet. It'd probably go to my daughter and things like that. But I'm looking to take profits. I will be reinvesting in the bloody bear market. So come 2027, when it's fear again, and the blood and depression, and people are like, crypto's a scam. The same cyclical patterns I've seen since 2016, right? Bull, bear, bull, bear. And it's funny, the narratives that follow those respective cycles. So I'm going to be looking to capitalize on the next bull market of 2028 into 2030. But this time around, certainly taking profit. So hope you understand my strategy and the transparency I'm providing to you guys, but the setup is very nice here. Now, today was a huge day, historic, folks. President Trump signed the Genius Act into law. That's the stablecoin legislation. This will allow stablecoin innovation to boom in the United States as well as around the world, because if you want to launch a US dollar stablecoin, you got to follow these rules. And as we've been talking about, this is not just great for improving payments and for the crypto industry. It is going to cement the dollar dominance, the world reserve currency, because now it's in digital form. People can easily hold it. They can earn yield. All types of innovative things can be done here, including DeFi. And of course, the US has another avenue for folks to purchase the US treasuries, because historically, China, Japan, all these countries have been buying US treasuries, and that's been on the decline. And that's part of my thesis is, I think, part of the tariff stuff that's been going on. I think Trump's tariffs are more of a smokescreen to bring people to the negotiation table, and also to maybe rebalance some of the trades, because I think deals were cut in the past of, hey, we're going to give you this respective setup for trades if you buy our US treasuries, right? Because US wants that. They have to issue the debt. And this powers the US dollar and the economy, if you understand how this all works. So I honestly think, and I think I wrote an article about this on X, you can check it out. I think that was the crux of this whole tariff situation. Now, I may be wrong, but I think I did a good research here, and I think that's what's going on. So the White House tweeted out a photo of Trump holding the signed legislation, and they said the Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stablecoins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. And I absolutely agree. This is the next layer on the internet. And it's going to open up new opportunities. And folks, I absolutely believe this is another Bretton Woods moment. If you know your history, after World War II, the agreements that were made where the United States dollar became the world reserve currency backed by gold. Obviously, the gold standard was removed by Nixon in the 1970s, but nevertheless, it set the world in a new path forward. And I think this is another Bretton Woods moment. So it's pretty historic. And I know some people are going to get triggered because Trump is involved, and people, love or hate Trump, but that's not the point. I'm not even looking at that, because I think this would have gotten done if it was another president, and you can argue, okay, Democrat, Republican, but let's say Trump didn't win and it was another Republican president, or maybe even a Democrat president. I think this would get done eventually, because at the end of the day, as much as we're divided about certain things, when it comes to the dollar status and the United States staying king of the hill, I think all these folks agree, right? That's why you saw a bunch of Democrats, a lot of Democrats voted to get this done. This didn't have a lot of pushback, folks. Even though you had your Maxine Waters put on their dog and pony show, Brad Sherman, right? They come out and say the negative stuff. Still, tons of Democrats signed on to this. It was bipartisan. It was not lopsided at all. So, folks, I mean, what a time to be alive. This is incredible. And this is going to power the future of payments. If we're going to look back at this in 50 years or whatever, people are going to look back in 50 years when robots are using stablecoins and AI agents are using stablecoins and we're not carrying around cash anymore. And this will be a pivotal moment if you understand your history and how the evolution of technology and adoption. So incredible stuff here. And Trump, he made a statement when he was speaking to folks. He said, crypto has gone up more than any stock. Crypto makes the dollar look good. Crypto is good for the dollar and the nation. So incredible stuff here. Brian Armstrong and the Coinbase team were at the White House for this signing. So was the Circle team, the Tether team. The Winklevoss twins were there. A lot of crypto people were there, folks, a good amount. So Brian Armstrong said, historic day for crypto. The financial system is finally being updated. Massive shout out to our policy/legal teams for all their hard work on making America the home of crypto. But the job's not finished. Now the Senate needs to pass the Clarity Act to protect consumers. So, of course, the bigger bill, the Clarity Act, which gives tokens, the category of security, non-securities, that is the meat and potatoes, right? That has the bulk of the clarity we need. And that now goes to the Senate, but it won't get passed till September. Per David Sachs, the White House crypto czar. We got the August recess coming up, so nothing's going to get done in August, obviously. And the timing of that, as I've been saying, aligns with global liquidity and potential top come then, right? Or, in that timeline, it won't be like, okay, the exact day they signed the bill, the top of the market's in, but the top zone, as I've been saying. So I hope you see what's happening here, folks. Now, I want to share what MasterCard had to say about this news. It's incredible. This is a credit card company, and they are dabbling in crypto and stablecoins. And here's what they tweeted out. With the Genius Act now passed, we're entering a new era of clarity and confidence in digital assets, one we've been preparing for over the years. We've worked across crypto and traditional finance ecosystems to explore how stablecoins can complement and enhance existing payment systems. This is MasterCard. And you guys know Visa's been doing the same thing, American Express as well. They all know disruptions at their doorstep. So they are integrating these technologies and trying to adapt as best as possible. And folks, I got some exciting news for you. I will be interviewing the executive vice president of blockchain and digital assets at MasterCard next week. So I'm going to bring you the details on what they're doing. Make sure you're subscribed. It's going to be a good one because this is no joke. I mean, one of the largest crypto companies, right? I'm going to try to get some banks as well who are, looking to launch stablecoins. Many of you may recall the Bank of America CEO said many times earlier this year, when Congress passes legislation, they're ready to launch a stablecoin. There's also been talks of a joint stablecoin by many of the banks, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. But you're going to see a lot of innovation of stablecoins, credit card companies, banks, payment companies. We saw PayPal already launch theirs, PYUSD. Much more to come. What an exciting time. Now, folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer 1 enterprise blockchains. Many brands and companies are using VeChain to build Web3 technology. Some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it's secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. I've been a VET token holder since 2018. So even before they became a sponsor, I've been holding this token because I'm bullish on it. They're doing a lot of great things, and they're partnered with brands and companies such as Givenchy, Walmart China, PwC, that's a top 4 accounting firm, Boston Consulting Group, BMW, and many more. And they are also partnered with Dana White and the UFC, doing a great partnership there. And Dana White recently in an interview, many of you saw, said that he bought $1 million in VET token, and that was his first crypto investment. So VeChain has a bright future. So if you'd like to learn more, go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now, we got some news coming out from the SEC, specifically from Chairman Paul Atkins. He said that the SEC is considering innovation exemptions from regulations to boost tokenization. So many of the big legacy TradFi firms like BlackRock are looking to do tons of tokenization. They're going to move the whole stock market on the blockchain. That's what's coming, right? So he's saying they may look to give some exemptions here. So let's see what they come up with. And in fact, today, SEC Chair Paul Atkins, he launched his account on X. I love this openness and transparency. So this is really great. I'm also trying to get an interview with him to bring him on the podcast. I've had Hester Peirce and former SEC officials, and it would be great to get Paul. He's very smart if you've seen his interviews. And if you recall, he was very critical of Gary Gensler over the past 4 years. So I'm working on getting that done. Now, folks, look at this. Charles Schwab CEO went on CNBC today and says they will launch Bitcoin trading sometime soon and will be competing with Coinbase. They have $10 trillion of assets under management. Folks, what have I been saying, right? For a long time, these crypto exchanges native to the asset class need to up their game because Wall Street's coming for the takeover. Competition's healthy. It's good for all of us, right? I think it's very, very good. This is going to bring in tons of capital. Charles Schwab is a powerhouse. And, going back to 2018, 2019, I was talking about all of this stuff. E-Trade, Charles Schwab, they will all bend the knee. They will all capitulate. And look at this. Let me play the clip for you.
And sign the Genius Bill today into law.
Well, our clients are invested in crypto today. In fact, our clients hold more than 20% of the exchange-traded product crypto in the entire industry. So they're invested. It's still only about 25 billion out of the 10.8 trillion dollars that our clients have. So it's still relatively small, but our clients own a big part of the market. We also anticipate launching Bitcoin and Ether sometime soon so that our clients have access to that. And we think that'll be an acceleration of our growth, because what we hear from many of our clients are that they have 98% of their wealth here at Schwab, and they might hold 1% or 2% at some digital native firm to hold their crypto. And they really want to bring it back to Schwab because they trust us. They want it to sit alongside their other assets. And so we think we'll see some real growth when we bring those to market.
So you would be directly competing then with like a Coinbase on that front?
Absolutely. If they're buying their crypto at Coinbase, we would love to see them bring their crypto back to Schwab.
So there you have it. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. The competition is about to heat up. So these crypto exchanges better up their game, improve their services, their uptime, their custody, because these legacy firms, they have the branding, they have the pedigree, they have the security systems, they are stress tested. You know what I mean? They've gone through high volume trading and lots of traffic and so forth. And they also have a large customer base. So if they launch trading, they can easily push it out to the customers. They don't have to go market it necessarily because they're going to get a lot of volume just with the existing infrastructure and customers they have. So guys, look at what's happening. But to some people out there, this is all a scam. This is a Ponzi, right? They have not taken the next step to educate themselves. So this is why knowledge is power, folks. You gotta know what the hell is happening here. Final news item, Jack Dorsey's block, which holds 8,584 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, is set to join the S&P 500. So we're seeing the crypto corporate treasury strategy continuing to grow. Companies with crypto on their balance sheet continue to get more exposure, and more are coming into the industry. This crypto treasury strategy is a trend I've been saying is not going to stop. And it started with Bitcoin. As I told you guys, it would go to Ethereum and XRP and much more. In fact, earlier today, I published my interview with the CEO of BTCS. They have an Ethereum treasury strategy. Be sure to check it out. Even if you're not a fan of Ethereum, but you want to learn about what these companies are doing and the trend that's happening here, because you could invest in the stock. The stock could outperform certain assets, but I'm personally not doing that. I'm just holding my crypto assets, and maybe in the bear market, if some of these companies survive, because we'll see how it works out when the valuations go down of the assets now, because bear markets, they really hit everybody. I will probably maybe buy some of the stocks. I'll let you guys know if I do. But really, really great to see things like this happening. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Historic day. I would love to get your thoughts and comments about this. I definitely read the comments, and I want to hear from you guys. And if you appreciate the content and all the stuff I've been providing over the years, guys, check out my newsletter. It's 100% free. Sign up. It's on Substack. You can support me that way. You can also grab a copy of my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And if you want to expand your knowledge of crypto, check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. I'm talking crypto corporate treasury, DeFi, staking, tokenization. It's all in there. And you will hear from founders, CEOs, and institutional investors. That's what makes it different from any crypto course out there, folks. So packed with tons of value. Check it out at mycryptocourse.com. All the links will be in the description. Folks, thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.